So in the first video I did with the Hubbard pumpkin, I explained a little bit how I have accumulated a variety of pumpkins this autumn for decorating purposes, but I know from experience that a lot of those pumpkins are absolutely delicious for eating. So this year I'm actually going to be documenting all the different varieties of pumpkins that I have, cutting them up, seeing what they look like inside, and tasting them. So today I'm trying two new pumpkins I've never tasted before or cut open before. What I've discovered online, what I could discover about the coloring of this squash or pumpkin is that it might be a Delectica pumpkin. However, the ones that I saw were all uniform in shape. They were kind of like these elongated globes, while this has more of a dog bone shape. And it also seems a lot larger than the Delectica pumpkins I saw online. So I'm not sure what this is. I'm hoping by cutting it open, it will give me some more clues as to what it is. Now this one is just a white pumpkin. I don't know very much about it, except they're really pretty. I don't know if it's gonna have much flavor or color, so I'm curious about opening this one up. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cut them up, roast them, and taste them. I'm gonna try a different knife. Huh. And it's solid in the middle. That's interesting and not what I expected at all. This mustn't be a pumpkin, this must be a squash, right? It's not very strong in scent. It doesn't smell very strong. All right, let's cut up this end. This is the rotten end, so I'm gonna just throw all of that away once I get it off here. Ah. Okay, now this is more what I expected. Oh, it's a heart. It's cute. All right, this is the good side and this is the rotten side. So I'm not gonna be too precious with this and try and save any of it. I'm just gonna toss this. I know it's wasteful, but there's a lot of pumpkin here. And the seeds are really like deflated looking, very flat and wrinkly. Not like the pumpkin seeds from the Hubbard pumpkin. Those seeds were really hard and smooth. Now safety tip, when it comes to cutting pumpkin stems, don't even try. It's akin to trying to cut through a chicken bone. It's very, very tough to get through. So I usually like to cut as far as I can and then let it kind of break apart or cut it out completely. Okay, that's through one side. And I'm going to continue that way as best I can over here. How do I do? It's pretty good. See if I can pull it open. Yeah, see, that's the best way to do it. Now, this is just gonna get cut around. This is solid? Is this solid? No way. Wow, look at all, that's all vegetable. That's all fruit, I guess you wanna call it. Just, wow, that's a lot. That is awesome. So I don't know what this is. You guys will have to help me out. So I discovered a new game that has pumpkins in. It's called Wendick. I hadn't heard anything about it until I saw it in my friend's game store from the Ashes Gaming, and he said I could borrow it and try it out. So I'm excited. It has a chieftain on or I don't know if it is a chieftain, but there's an Indian person on the box cover holding a bunch of pumpkins. So it caught my eye right away. And it has cute little wooden pumpkin game component. So I'm really excited to try it out. So that's done. Now, on to the white one. Oh, it's very hollow inside. It's still very tough to get through. Alright, now it's stuck. Okay, this is when pumpkin cutting gets a little dangerous. There we go. Alright, so we have one cut. Let's just try and continue that line. Oh, give me. Try not to get it too far stuck. Of the other pumpkins I cut so far, they were twice as big as this, and this one's giving me much more trouble. It's just cutting round things. Right. There it is. Wow, it's almost green inside. Huh. Alright, so we'll save a few of those for tasting. You know, I'm gonna just double check online, make sure that these aren't poisonous, because I've never seen anyone eat these before. Are white pumpkins edible? It's one of the first things. Cooking and eating white pumpkins. The fresh inside the pumpkin is edible. It seems to have more of like that, what reminds me of spaghetti squash. Like when you pull at it a little bit, it tends to come off in like strings, like thick strings, very similar to spaghetti squash. So that's interesting. All right, so we're ready to roast. I'm gonna roast my half pumpkin and my roasting pan in a 400-degree oven for 45 to 60 minutes. I'm drizzling them with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and then we'll be ready to taste. All right, the pumpkin is all done and all roasted. First, I'm gonna try the pumpkin I'm not really sure what the name is, the one that looked like the bone, the dog bone, and it was very big and had a lot of flesh to it. Okay, so it's not super sweet. It's a little bit sweet, has a little bit of a squash flavor, and it has more of a sticky consistency, kind of like a mouthful sticky consistency, almost close to sweet potato. So it has more of a starchy feel to it. I'm also gonna taste one of the seeds. I roasted some seeds alongside of them. Yeah, I don't like that. It definitely has like a bitter flavor to it. As soon as I put it in my mouth, I got it. I'm not sure why, but those seeds just do not taste good. I don't know if it's because half of the pumpkin had a little bit of the rotten flesh on it and it just kind of made the seeds taste bad, or if they're just by and large not good tasty seeds. So I wouldn't recommend the seeds of that large squash. All right, so now I'm moving on to the white pumpkin, the pretty white pumpkin that we cut apart. Here we go. This, it has more of a stringy texture, not a super strong flavor, just a nice light squash, but not super sweet, and more watery in texture. It's not as hard a stringy texture as like a spaghetti squash, but it definitely has that stringy quality in it. So you can feel the texture of those strands when you bite inside of it. It's pretty nice though. I do prefer it to the more starchy squash on this side. I'm gonna try one of the seeds. I also toasted those. Oops. Nice and crunchy and popcorn-like. So these are a lot nicer than the other seeds I tried here. All right, so that's what they tasted like. Now I want to check out the texture of the other half of the pumpkin that I roasted whole and see if it will pull apart like a spaghetti squash pumpkin. I cooked these for the same amount of time, just a little bit less than an hour. So there's all the liquid coming out. it definitely pulls apart. Now I have a feeling it's a little bit softer, but it is pretty cool. It definitely does the string thing. So that's kind of interesting. I love it. It's so satisfying. Well, thanks for watching this pumpkin video. I hope you learned something new and discovered something along with me. I have to say I was surprised at how delicious the white pumpkin really was, and it's good to know in the future I will not be throwing those out. I will be using them in my casseroles and stir fries because it's delicious. And it's a very nice light color, so I liked it a lot. And the other one I think would be great in lieu of like Idaho potatoes or maybe even sweet potatoes. It would feed a lot because it's huge and it's mostly flesh. So that was a really exciting discovery. Like I said, thanks again for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Now it's stuck. Or substitutable. Okay, this is when pumpkin cutting gets a little dangerous because I have a ball and a knife attached to it. It's not quite as hard. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try a different knife.